Hey there, everyone. How's it going? We were just talking, and she was expressing that she didn't really understand what this man was talking about. I'm sure that we're not still on the same video. We're on another video.
Yeah.
And so this was a video with a beautiful Brazilian man, a really awesome friend of mine. I'm not using his name because I can't remember it to save the life of me. I would probably use his name otherwise. I don't really have a lot of anonymity within myself. I like to be transparent fully. If you want to be around me, you're going to have to understand that I will be transparent fully with all information transferring through me. So there's no secrets to be kept with me. There's no reason to keep secrets within reality. If we're protecting against something, and maybe it is that we're still planning on doing something in that way, we're afraid for some reason that'll be unnecessary. Maybe it is a necessary fear, I'm not sure, but we can find out through the expression of it for sure. But yeah, if you do have any of those type secrets, just don't express them to me then. I might say them out loud on a video on YouTube, who knows for sure. If I see it to be a great teaching as I see all of my life, then I will probably use it as a teaching for others in their benefit. If I see it to be my own benefit, your benefit, the benefit of the individual in the moment, and it seems to be an authentic, unique chord shape that might be a benefit to another part of ourselves, then it's going to be difficult for me to not share that and keep that private and in secret and covet the wisdom. I don't like to do this myself. But if for some reason I would somehow not share for some reason, then that wouldn't be accepted by me too. I would accept whatever the moment brings me to do, and and even how I am agitated by that. So if I'm agitated to be moved to express later because of it, then I will do that. Whatever it is, I'll trust the moment, accept it as it is, and always occur in balance and not in dissonance with in the realms of myself. And so this man was talking and. Talking about different things, he was saying that there was something missing. There's still one thing missing, no matter what we told him in solution about how everybody is perfect and equanimity and all these different things. Still, no matter what you say to him, there will be one thing missing. And that's the one thing that he will always see then missing in himself. And I say always, and it's an absolute statement. Maybe perhaps not always, but that will be the thing until he sees... through this, he will not reach liberation in himself. He will not reach freedom or ability to express himself limitlessly. This is his ego identity that cannot be transcended at this moment, apparently, but perhaps, in the future will be transcended in this life or the next or however. He's a very amazing being and he's very much looking, but there's one thing that he cannot accept of himself. There's one thing that he cannot accept from his experience about people. And there's one thing that he kept saying was missing. And this was beautiful to me. I was about to tell her that related to me in a second. I wish I would have told him while he was here, but I didn't have it relate to me while he was here. It had been related after he was gone. And it's the last trick of the ego, they say. The very last trick of the ego. And he agreed with everything I had to say. He was like, oh yeah, that's all true, but there's one thing missing. And it's that humans are not pure. There's the last trick of the ego, and there's one thing missing. That's what they say is the last trick, is that you still think that there's one thing missing. There's something I need. There's one thing more. There's something else I have to do. My body, my spirit, my own voice told me when I was in between space and married my energies that I was good and that there was nothing I needed to do. I proceeded to do many things after this, thinking that wasn't true. And then I remembered hearing the statement after that the ego says, there's one thing missing and that's the last trick of it. And so eventually you'll find out, oh no, we're good to go. And so I found out kind of Zen style too. So I went Vajrayana path, I went Zen path, I went Mahayana path, I went all the different funny Buddhist paths in some ways, some good Taoist paths, some Dzogchen path, really cool ways to experience the contrast and be able to then help myself through it after I came in. And so in a way, I haven't really been doing anything. It says do less. Was this thing that went by at that same time? It's like, oh shit, did I not be talking? I don't know. Do less, everybody, do less. Just be, Anyhow. So, the last trick of the ego is there's one thing missing. And for him, he thought that there was one thing missing, And that was human purity. You cannot see that within himself was this divine spark of Buddha nature. But it is said in the Dharma that yes, there is in everybody. Everybody has inherent Buddha nature. And so you always look at everybody with their Buddha nature. You see the Buddhas embodied around you, But the thing is that in every way, to every ounce of their being, there be not one piece of them that is blemished as not the Buddha. They are all the Buddha embodied. They are all enlightened mind, all enlightened consciousness, pure awareness. Every single one of them. You as well. To every bit of yourself, to the very hairs that are the outest reaches of your spectrum of knowing, of your physical self, or the greatest spheres that can be measured by magnetic field science, whatever it is. Whatever it happens to be. You are pure and perfect and divine and in equanimity in every way that you could describe yourself to every part of your being. And so it's just so beautiful and amazing and wonderful to have this great teaching come from this man, and see this and see the resistance. But you just be authentic. You don't force anything. He's allowed to think however he wishes. He can go away thinking that. You don't have to be like, oh, no, think this way. No big deal. But as he is authentic with me, I am able to be authentic with him. And so he shares with me what is his honest perception and truth, and so then I also do the same. And we do this together in unison. We are both doing this. I'm not doing this against him to force this upon him in some way. I have no reason to vent or express to anybody in that manner. I express to myself. And if I do have the reason to express to anybody in that manner, I will tell them what I'm doing. And they will have the ability then to agree with me or not agree with me, and it will be their free will, whatever they decide to do, and I will express myself freely as I am. We're all free to make our decisions and say with each other what it is that we wish and desire for each other to do with each other. And we'll find that when we speak our truth to one another, that it's easy for us to harmonize. If we say it all mean in an attack and a defense, and we get an attack or defense in return, well, then we should understand that the reason for that is literally because we did that. And so now the balance must occur. And so if we immediately retreat away from our attack and defense at any time, even if we began in attack and defense, it will settle back into the center point of no attack and no defense. So we can always rest into non-action whenever it is we found ourselves caught by emotion, resting in the breath in the present moment in pure awareness and just being ourselves, not against anything, but just for the purpose of being as we are, as we honor everything else to be, and we don't stop it from being because we're doing it, but we allow then also it to do the same. Being that we're already doing it for ourselves, we have great understanding that everybody is, that we see them as equal to ourselves, also has this beautiful right, that they also can be themselves. So we have no problem with them being themselves, unless they're attacking and defending, because we respect ourselves, and we don't really have a problem with it, but we will be authentic with how it is we interpret the attack and defense, which is causing the need for reverberation and polarity from the being in which it's coming. And so if there's any kind of weird resistance or triggering in frequency, you can be sure there's an attack or defense present. And if we can release this attack and defense, we can find a place of great stability. Even in the strongest of presences and the strongest of expressions, we can find a great centered balance and harmony, even with the most strangely insane seeming beings. But no attack and defense, no attack and no defense is the wisdom energy, non-action, truth embodied honesty, being for the purpose of simply being, not for the purpose of forcing or changing or manipulating or controlling any other reality at all, being that is honoring its own free sovereign will along with others, and naturally, not because it has to, not because it needs to, just genuinely being itself. Even if it's mad, it can be mad, it can do this, it can do that, it can be itself. It doesn't have to be itself against anything, but it can be itself for everything, or just simply just being itself. And you'll see that this is the wisdom of non-action. And when you start to see that it is of benefit, you may even take great grace with this. And then there may be times in which you say, oh no, it was not beneficial in that same way. And then you will see where you have formed to an ego preference and identity. And so you can release yourself from all these things with no expectation by being self-sustained in the genuinity of where you are presently in perfection of all that is. And as you continue to allow yourself to rest into the acceptance of everything as it is formlessly, you will then be able to do that in every situation in your life and then persist to pervade that situation, that frequency, that understanding, that vibration, that energy to every being that you then meet, whether symbiosisly with conversation or communication in some direct manner, or simply just by you sitting and being nearby, or however it may be, because we are a formless, amazing, limitless potential, and there are many unique qualities and ways in which this information can present itself and benefit, and in fact, it is already doing so in every way possible, possibly imagined. And that's amazing, phenomenal, our luminous consciousness. love you all very much. Thank you for everything. Aloha.